Hello everyone, that Manga Kid here to do my wrap-up of the 25 days of manga. This was a readathon hosted by Natalie, Shay, Aisha, and Dylan. All of their YouTube channels will be listed and linked in the description below. So thank you to them for hosting. I didn't read as much as I normally do, but I did get quite a bit done, so I figured I'd just go through and let you know what I read during the first 25 days of December. First up, I read Genshiken Volume 1. I only have Volume 1 of the older edition. I don't own any more of Genshiken, but it's basically, if you don't already know, this is like one of the more original otaku manga that we got here in North America. It's about college students in this otaku club. They mostly read manga, play erotic video games, and talk about anime and stuff. And it's this college student kind of, joining this club, the Genshiken. I will hopefully find more of this. I really, really enjoyed this volume. I thought it was very funny. The art was really good. It's one that I've wanted for many, many, many years and just haven't bothered to pick up. This edition is out of print because it's Del Rey, but there are omnibuses from Kodansha, which I think are also, they're quite old at this point now as well, but hopefully one day I'll find more of this. Then I read a few, this is omnibus number 8 of 20th Century Boys, so I read 8, 9, and 10. So that leaves me with only the final omnibus to read when that comes out in early 2021. So that's the last 2 volumes of the series. Really, really excellent series. Lots of intertwining, timelines, stories, characters, all kind of culminating into this one big mystery about and conspiracy and it's very, very interesting sci-fi series. I'm not going to open these up because of spoilers, obviously, this late in the series, but these perfect editions are quite nice. The singles, obviously, mostly are out of print at this point, so Viz was reprinting the series in these nice editions, and it's an excellent way to read the story if you haven't already, which I had not. But yeah, really, really enjoyed this one, and now cannot wait for the final omnibus to come out. Then I read the first 2 volumes of Monster and the Beast. This is a Yen Press title that I've wanted for a long time, and this first volume was out of stock forever, and I finally got my hands on it. This was excellent, about this guy named Liam who meets, I think his name's Kamo or something? Kavo, sorry, is this monster he meets in the forest, and Kavo kind of falls for Liam in a, what we're assuming is going to be a romantic way, but at this point he just kind of likes him because he's the first living being to not be scared of him, because he's kind of a scary looking dude, but he's really soft and adorable and cute. The art is excellent. The story is ridiculous. Liam's a bit of a playboy, and he's clearly got a secret past, or he's running from somebody or something, and Kavo really doesn't care who Liam is, because when he's with him, at least he likes him quite a lot, and it is very cute, very funny. Cannot wait for more of this one. Then I read Caterpillar Girl and Bad Texture Boy. This is a bit of a very kind of bittersweet story about this girl who asks out her childhood friend, but he thinks that she's too perfect, so she goes and becomes this little caterpillar in hopes that, now that she's ugly and not perfect, he will date her. It was cute, but sort of sad, and kind of a commentary on seeing what's in front of you and not, letting your own insecurities hold you back from being with who you want to be with or being who you want to be. And, this boy kind of gets a wake-up call that, it's his own insecurities that drove this girl to this point. And it's just a short one-shot. I did quite enjoy it. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting it to be. I thought it was going to be more cute than kind of sad, but yeah, it was pretty good. Then I read the most recent volume 5 of Blue Flag. Beautiful cover as always, beautiful story as always, romance series, obviously coming to an end soon. I believe it's only 8 volumes long. So excited to read more of that in the new year when the next volume comes out. Then I read Junji Ito's Remina. This was an interesting 1-volume horror story, not a short story collection, thankfully. I do like the short stories, but I think that Junji Ito's stories, I find they're more intriguing when they're longer, and he has more time to kind of flesh out the bizarre ridiculousness of his worlds. And this one is a sci-fi series about a planet that is coming towards Earth, and how humanity is reacting to this oncoming end of the world apocalypse situation. It's quite good. Very entertaining. Then I read School Rumble. Again, only the first volume is what I have, an out-of-print Del Rey release. I believe it is available digitally, maybe from Kodansha. I could be completely wrong on that. But this was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. The art is amazing. It's about a love triangle between this delinquent dude, the main girl who's very not intelligent, and the boy in her class that she likes. And it kind of goes between her perspective and the delinquent guy. There's the guy that she likes. And it's just kind of a situational comedy about them all trying to relay their feelings, / get their crush's attention. It's hysterically funny. Next up, I read volume 4 of Perfect World, the most recent volume. Another kind of bittersweet story. Still continues to be very good, quite sad at this point in time, because we're dealing with the fallout of what happened in volume 3. But yeah, still an excellent Josei series. And then I read a few volumes of Crimson Hero. Now this is a volleyball shoujo from the early 2000s. And I had never read it before, but I recently acquired some of the volumes that were out in English, so I read a few. And in volume 1, we get tomboy, rich family, traditional family girl who is rebelling against her family because she wants to just play volleyball. So she goes to high school, and there's no girls' volleyball team. The boys won't let her join their team. She's trying to start up the girls' volleyball team again. She ends up living in the boys' volleyball team dorm. So it's a boarding house, sports, early 2000s shoujo with a tomboy-esque character starting a girls' volleyball team amongst a bunch of people who don't want her to succeed. It is hysterically funny, highly entertaining. And yes, you see this right, I am missing volumes 5 and 6. So I basically just looked up some reviews of what happened in those volumes so that I can continue reading. Because I also have volumes 7 through 14, which was all that was released in English, was up to 14. It's a 20-volume series in Japan. But anyway, highly entertaining. I cannot wait to read more of this. This is all I read of it during this readathon, but this is so good. I will absolutely be trying to get my hands on this. These are old library copies, but yeah, I am hopefully going to find some nicer copies of this and the 2 volumes that I'm missing. And yeah. Next up, we got Koi Monogatari Love Stories. This is a chunky volume 2 of this newer Tokyopop BL series that I really, really love. The volume 1 was excellent. This volume is also excellent. Very slow burn series about this boy who learns that another student in his grade is gay, and he kind of befriends him. He's got a bit of prejudice, but he's trying to be a good friend to this guy, and they're slowly softening up to each other and just becoming really good friends. And the assumption is that I think that they're going to end up together, but who knows? But yeah, it's a really, really good coming out story. Honestly, this feels like a very legitimate, realistic situation of this kid is worried about bullying. He's worried about his family not accepting him. He's worried about just existing as a teenager, as a gay teenager right now, and then his friend, existing alongside him. But yeah, this volume in particular dealt with a lot of hard-hitting topics of bullying and homophobia, and but a really, really heartwarming moment. Family situations and different levels of outness, because there's another gay boy around his age from a different school who is dealing with different situations because he's more out and proudly gay, whereas this guy is quiet about it. Excellent series if you're looking for a really good, slow-paced queer story. And next up, I finished the final volume of the main Kase-san and series. This is volume 5. Really, really beautiful, adorable. I'm going to be careful. There's a little bit of explicitness in this volume. What a great face. But yeah, still continued to be an adorable girls' love. Probably my favorite girls' love I've ever read at this point. I will be getting the Kase-san and Yamada's second series for when they're in college, but this basically finished up their high school life. Then I read volume 9 of The Girl from the Other Side. I quite enjoyed this volume. If you've been watching my videos recently, you would know that I was getting fed up with this series. I was tired of it, didn't want to read any more of it. I wanted to finish, I want it to end, which I still do want it to end. I think that it's going on quite a bit longer than it should. But that being said, I really liked this volume. This got a little darker, even though it's already a dark kind of fantasy series. But yeah, it's gotten a little bit more heavy and a little bit more into what's going on behind the scenes. Yeah, this series has now danced around the main problem for a long time, and I think it's like it needs to get to the point. Is my issue with it, but this volume is starting to get to the point. So hopefully the final few volumes will, finish out the story in a satisfying way. Then I read volumes 2 and 3 of Let's Dance a Waltz. Cutesy shoujo ballroom dance series. Nothing really to write home about. It was okay. It was cute. I may not have been in the mood for it because I just found some of the characters a little annoying at the time I was reading it. But I mean, it's a 3-volume ballroom dance series that, I'll probably read it again in a couple years. But yeah, it was cute and fluffy. Then I read Tokyo is My Garden. This is a Ponentmon release, and it's another French mangaka. I don't know why I just opened that. There's a lot of sex in this. Thankfully, I didn't open to a decent page. It's about a French man living in Tokyo trying to sell a French brand of alcohol. That's why he's in Tokyo, is to sell it to the Japanese market. And he's not succeeding. His boss is coming to Tokyo for a few weeks to visit and see how he's doing with their business. And so he's trying to drum up some business quickly because he's been there for over a year and sold only 1 case of this alcohol. And so he also meets this girl, this Japanese girl. And so, the stakes of trying to stay in Tokyo have gotten higher because he wants to stay with this woman. It was pretty good. It was quite good, actually. I really enjoyed it. Then I read 2 volumes, 8 and 9 of Toradora, and lucky for me, these were the Christmas volumes. We had our Christmas storyline over both of these volumes, and so that was quite fitting for the time of year, which was nice. Toradora is excellent. I've never read the light novels, but the anime was one of my favorites growing up. It was one of those mid-2000-ish or 2008-ish, I think, anime series that was quite pivotal around, the time I was watching it. I was 13 maybe. Something that stuck with me. These characters have stuck with me for so long, and to have the manga now and be able to read it and enjoy the characters again is really good. And we had our first major girl fight in one of these volumes. So there's quite a few very violent girl fights in this series that are extremely memorable, and one of them happened in one of these volumes. So yeah, right down memory lane. Then I read one of the volume 7 of the Vizbigs of Inuyasha. Just another nostalgic one for me, as it is for many people. This one is a really fun Rumiko Takahashi action-adventure romance, historical fantasy. I think that the art absolutely holds up. The battle scenes, these are characters that have stuck with me since I was, the first time I watched this anime was when I was 8 or 9 years old. And I've watched it so many times since. I've read the manga once before. And, now to have it in these Vizbigs and to be able to re-experience it and know that it is still excellent, in my opinion, is quite fun. Then I read volume 1 of Tenka Muso Princess Ninja Scroll. I have, honestly, zero idea what happened. I don't know what this is about. I read this volume, and I still don't get it. I think she can, she's a little girl, but she can turn larger when she has this ninja scroll thing. They're being attacked by something. I think there's, robots / samurai robot things. I, honestly, zero clue. I have a TBR jar that I pick out volumes of manga from this TBR jar so that I can actually read things on my shelf and not let anything kind of slip through the cracks. And I got this for free earlier this year and hadn't read it yet. So I picked this out of my jar this month, and so I read this volume, and zero clue what happened. It was that good that I just blanked out. Then the final things I read were just more Vizbig Inuyasha volumes. So that brings me up to volume 30 of the singles. And we had the Band of Seven arc in these volumes, which is my favorite arc of Inuyasha. So I was just bleeding right through, or speeding through these, sorry. Excellent arc, in my opinion. And then I read BL Metamorphosis, volume 3, because this came in the mail. Very cute story about an older woman and a teenage girl bonding over BL manga. Beautiful, kind of melancholic in this volume. They're both dealing with different things in their life and trying to kind of come to terms with certain things, but it's very, very beautiful. And then I also read a bunch of digital manga this month, so I'll just go quickly through. I read Starving Anonymous, volumes 4 through 7, which is a kind of a creepy sci-fi story, horror. I read Dragon Head, volumes 1 through 10 complete. That is another horror manga from I believe the 90s. And it was a apocalyptic story. Quite good. I read Noise by Tsutomu Nihei, which is a 1-volume series. Like many Tsutomu Nihei books, the first time through, I had no idea what was going on. I will have to reread that one to figure out what happened. And then I read a few volumes. I think I read 4 volumes of Can't You Just Die, My Darling, another horror manga. That one's about a virus that's going around that's causing people to want to kill the people they're in love with. And it's like an appetite to just murder the person that you love, and they can't figure out how it started, how to cure it, why it's happening. So our main character is in love with this childhood friend girl, and he is trying not to kill her. And then I read Junji Ito's Cat Diary, which was quite fun, horror manga style, but it's just a funny story about his cats. And then I read the final few chapters on the Shonen Jump app of Chainsaw Man. And that's everything I read for the first 25 days of December. So thank you again to all the hosts. All of the channels of the hosts will be in the description. Yeah, I had fun. Read quite a few different things, and yeah, if you've read anything or if you saw anything in this video that I have not made a video about yet, it's probably coming. A few of them I have first impressions / reviews of that are coming out in the new year. I'm already scheduling my videos into March at this point. So yeah, it may take a little while, but if you saw something here that I've not already spoken about, there's probably a video coming, except for this one. Tankamuso, Princess Ninja Scroll, there will not be a video about this because I have no idea what it was about. But everything else, I think, either already has a video or will have one soon. But yeah, let me know what you read during the readathon, if there was any standout series or volumes that you read that you'd like to either recommend or just let me know that you read those. I'd love to hear it. Anyway, thanks for watching.